Hey everyone! Okay, so this is going to be my little review on Expendables 3. I'm going to make this as quick as possible because I actually want to go view Maleficent, and I'm going to come back and hopefully make a review on that. Okay, so Expendables 3. And not much to say about this. Kind of a mediocre action film. You're probably wondering why am I making a review about Expendables 3 and I haven't done one for 2 or 1. Well, to be honest, I never thought I was going to be making a review on this. Just like the Transformer movies, they were just going to be something I would possibly just view as a guilty pleasure, and that would be it. But I've actually decided to do this one because, well, it's recent and I actually saw it at around the same time as I saw Get On Up. So I said, might as well just throw it out there, right? I guess before I talk about the third one, I should go into how I felt about the first and second one. Didn't like the first one. Thought it was poorly directed. Didn't really have much of a focus for the most part. So many things could have been edited out. The movie was too long for me because a lot of fights didn't need to happen. A lot of confrontations didn't need to happen at all. And the Expendables is only in the beginning and the end. That's it. Jet Li's fights were awful, to be honest. I know if it was his movie, the fights would be more focused on and everything. But for a movie that focuses on so many main characters, you have to find some balance there. Sort of like how the Avengers did. And there wasn't a good balance in the first movie. Everything was cliche, down to the drug lord that's on an island. Okay, unbelievable. Like what the fuck? How generic can you get? It was so. Watch Honest Trailers version of The Expendables. I have it in my favorites, but by all means, go and search that right now, and that will basically tell you why I don't like it. For some people who know me on Facebook, I put it on my Facebook and I said this pretty much sums up what I thought about it. Expendables 2, this was the one I thought was better. You had a better villain who was played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, I can't understand a word he's saying, but he is so entertaining to watch as a villain. You have a better fight scene with Jet Li, although he's only in it for like 15 minutes, I swear. Possibly less, possibly 10 minutes, and that's it. He's out of the movie. You have more of the fights with the Expendables. Expendables, not Sylvester Stallone and Jet Li, or Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham, or anything with just Sylvester Stallone being in the front and everybody else in the back. No, you actually have the Expendables. Good. Great editing shots. Directed much better. Bigger explosions. Animated blood, which looked pretty funny, but for some reason I liked. It took it further than the first one, but it made less money. I don't know how. I thought the second one was actually it's a cheesy, over-the-top action film, just like the first one is, and that's what these movies are. They're just throwbacks to the 80s and 90s action films, but it did it well. And the second one, more so than the first one. Now we get down to the third Expendables movie, and this is already to the point where I'm like, okay, I enjoyed the second one. Despised the first one. I still wouldn't watch the first one to this day. I would watch the second one again, that's actually no problem with me. It wouldn't be my go-to movie, like if somebody said, let's get up and watch Expendables 2, I'd possibly be like, no. Even now, if you said to me, oh, go ahead and go watch Expendables 2, no, I'm not doing it. There are better action films out there, and even with this third one, even you're competing against something like Guardians of the Galaxy, which is like the #1 film out as far as action and at the box office and everything. You're competing with that. They had no chance. They really did. Marvel is so on top with their movies, and I finally seen Thor: The Dark World. I said a few videos ago I haven't seen it yet. I finally seen it, and I caught up with all my Marvel movies except for Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and I'm going to go see that hopefully after I see Maleficent. I'm going to find that and I'm going to see it. I don't know if I'm going to make a review on that. I might make a review on that, but even if I do now, people already have their 2 cents about it. The movie's been out for a while. It's going to be a little late if I do so. So, I don't know if I can, or even if I do, it won't be nothing special. I'll just say like, oh, you know, the movie sucks. Oh, the movie's great. You know, I seen the reviews. I already spoiled myself. I seen the reviews. I know what people thought about it, but normally I don't read a review or watch it if I'm gonna make a review myself. But I seen it for the Winter Soldier. But I really want to see it. But I'm gonna see Maleficent first before I take a look at it. So anyway, Expendables 3. It's sort of a mixed bag here. It had a couple of the boring stuff from the first one, although I think the directing was kind of a mixture between excuse me, between 2 and 1. Stuff was downplayed because I think this is PG-13 now, so the explosions look CGI. What the fuck? There is no blood. There is some heavy editing, even more so than the second one. Like you'll see people getting shot. Oh, switch to that over there, and it's like it'll be another action scene going on, but it'll be somebody running through explosions or through dust or something like that. The final action scene goes on for way too long. It should have been ended much earlier. The final, of course. Okay, let me start from the beginning. So Sylvester Stallone and or Barney, but I'm gonna call him Sylvester Stallone. I'm gonna call them by their names because, you know, you're not gonna remember. Anyway, so the Expendables, excluding I think Terry Crews, were there to save a convict from a train that was transporting him to some prison somewhere. After Jason Statham and a couple of the others break in, they go to the prisoner, and it turns out that it's Wesley Snipes. What is he in prison for? Well, they actually make a joke that it's for tax evasion. I laughed, but I rolled my eyes like, oh my god, that is so corny. He's like, what are you in prison for? Tax evasion. Really? Anyway, that's not the real reason, but they joke about that it was for tax evasion that Wesley Snipes was in prison. So anyway, after busting him out, turns out he's a knives guy, and so is Jason Statham. If you've seen the other movies, you know that he likes playing with knives. Anyway, they go to try to do a mission to eliminate a target, and it turns out this target is a former expendable who's played by Mel Gibson, who's having fun. He's having fun with this role, and I really enjoy. I liked his performance in here. Wish I got to see more of him. There's sometimes when they cut to him and he doesn't really say anything. He's just like walking into his house or something like that. I don't know why they cut there. And that's where the Expendables 1 comes in at, because it had those stupid ass fucking edits in there. But anyway. So Sylvester Stallone like just goes crazy. He's like, no! And he tries to shoot him and everything, but he gives away their position. And so Terry Crews ends up getting injured. Mel Gibson actually shoots him twice. Puts him in the hospital. All the Expendables are, of course, sad, and they want revenge as well. Arnold Schwarzenegger comes out of nowhere. He's like, if you need my help, I'll be there. And after that, Sylvester Stallone takes them to the bar, and he fires them all. I'm serious. This is like a half an hour into the movie, and once again, it's doing it like the first movie where the Expendables are only going to be in the beginning and the end. God, oh, you made the same mistake. You made the same mistake as the first movie, and why I didn't like the first movie. Because for a movie called Expendables, we didn't see a lot of the Expendables. They bring them back in a little bit earlier than the first movie, but it still was enough to piss me the fuck off. Okay. Even Jason Statham brings up to Sylvester Stallone that we've been here since the beginning, man. Oh, why are you doing this? Oh, we need a group of younger guys. Okay, so they get a group of younger people to try to take out Mel Gibson, and guess what? They get captured. So much for the young team. And I won't go into any further than that because you're going to have to see the movie to see what happens from there. But We know that it's going to focus on Sylvester Stallone and trying to get them back, and then the Expendables are going to come back and they say, hey, you're going to need us and everything like that. And there's this whole symbolism in the movie, and people have talked about this to where they said that the point is that, okay, our time is over. You know, us old action heroes, our time is over. We have to give it up to the newer generation. I can't remember a single one of the people's names from the new Expendables team, from the younger Expendables team, besides Thorne. And that was because he was the hacker and he was the only cool one. He only did like 2 hacking things and he was the only one I liked. Everybody else, I didn't care for. Except for the only other one I knew was the girl, and that's because she was a female. The other 2 guys, I have no idea what their names are. I can't remember the female's name. I can't remember the girl's name. But I just know that she had martial arts and everybody was hitting on her. That's about it. And of course, oh, she's pretty, let's hit on her. Okay. Movie, you could have... No advice. And no advice for these Expendables movies. You know, I'm done. I'm done. This is my first review of an Expendables movie. It might be my last. The only reason I would say to watch this movie is, if you've seen the rest, you're going to go see it anyway. I can see why it bombed at the box office. I can see why it tanked at the box office. Because there are too many things I don't like. Or are plain uninteresting, and it seems to keep that tone for a while, and then you get to the stuff where I'm just like, just blow up some shit. You know, this is the same thing I said with the first one, just blow up some shit. Second one got it right. You know, we got a villain that you really want to go after, you really want to kill. Oh my god. The fight between Sylvester Stallone and Mel Gibson, because we knew it was going to happen because Sylvester Stallone did write this, so he has to be the main guy. The fight between Sylvester Stallone and Mel Gibson is so fucking boring. I'm sorry. I know that's at the end of the movie. We know they was gonna fight anyway. It's an 80s movie cliche. We know they was gonna fight, but it is so boring, and it's over so quickly. Thank God it's over so quickly because it was actually a boring fight. It is not as interesting as Jean-Claude Van Damme fighting Sylvester Stallone. And even then, I wanted Jean-Claude to fight Jet Li, which would have been a much more interesting fight. Finally got Jean-Claude Van Damme and Jet Li in one movie, and they don't fight. That's like putting Jackie Chan and Jet Li in a movie, and they don't fight. Forbidden Kingdom had them in the same movie, but guess what? They fucking fought each other. I don't care if it was on strings. At least that movie was smart enough to know how to take advantage of what it's had, and they was even the main characters. But this movie, if you're gonna go see it for Antonio Banderas. Okay, he is a riot in this. Mel Gibson, Antonio Banderas, Harrison Ford replaces Bruce Willis, and he's not as entertaining as Bruce Willis, but I do like him. Of course, it's Harrison freaking Ford. How can you not like him? But the thing is that Harrison Ford, the last movie I saw you in was 42, and to see you in something like this, you don't need to try, okay? In 42, you put effort into that. That's because that was a better movie. You don't need to try in this, Harrison. You don't. Antonio Banderas is having fun. Why don't you guys have fun like he is? They're trying too hard, and these are great actors, but they're just in a shitty movie. It's just written shitty, it's directed shitty. It's okay. I know I just said all that, but it's okay. You're going to forget about it, and if you're like me, there's going to be some puns in there like "get to the chopper" or Arnold Schwarzenegger asking Harrison Ford, "Where'd you learn to fly?" Oh, that was a Star Wars reference there. Oh my God, it's gonna bother you a little bit. It is, and especially if you're a person that doesn't like puns, you're not gonna like it. If you like the first one, the second one, fine, you're gonna like this. Especially more of the older generation who just watch any fucking thing, any type of fucking action movie, regardless of what it is. I wish we had Chuck Norris show up just for one joke. That was funny in the second one. It's not here. I miss Chuck Norris already, the lone wolf. Am I glad I saw it? I wasn't going to see it. I wasn't going to see it. It's just I wanted something else to watch at the time. This was before I decided to do Maleficent and stuff like that, and I should have stopped while I was ahead. Okay, guys, this was supposed to be shorter than Get On Up, but Get On Up was a better movie, so there didn't need to be that much said about it. This one, if you like the other ones, you're gonna like this fine. If you didn't, don't fucking bother. Don't bother watching it. Not worth it. Not. Oh, okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go watch Maleficent, and I'll get back in front of the camera and I'll make another review. Okay? So take care. I'll see you in the next one.